Hey y'all, welcome back to Latine ADHD, the podcast where cultura and ADHD intersect. I'm your host, Dr. Janice Castro, psychologist. And as a reminder, this podcast and this episode is not a replacement for therapy. Today, we're getting into something that doesn't get talked about a lot: anger. The title of today's episode is Why Am I So Angry? We're focusing on this because men are socialized to appear decisive and emotionally together. Stay strong and keep it pushing because it's all good. Does that sound familiar? If you've ever felt like you go from 0 to 100 real quick, or if you've asked yourself, or maybe somebody told you, why are you so angry all the time? This episode is for you. And if you grew up hearing things like los hombres no lloran, men don't cry, or sé hombre, then you've probably grown up in a space where it didn't feel safe to talk about your feelings, especially the hard ones like frustration, guilt, sadness, anger. Today, we're going to break down why ADHD makes anger harder to handle, why it's not your fault, and one tool you can start using today that can actually help. So, what's the deal with ADHD and anger? Men with ADHD often feel anger more intensely than others. Why is that? Because ADHD makes it harder to manage emotions. It's not just about paying attention or sitting still or forgetting stuff. It's about also controlling how big emotions feel and how fast they come out. So when something frustrating happens, like you lost your keys again, someone interrupts you, or plans change last minute, your brain might flip out way faster than someone else. That's called emotional dysregulation. Basically, your brain is skipping the pause and breathe button. For a lot of men, that anger gets bottled up like a shaken soda bottle. One too many little bumps, and boom, you're spraying Mountain Dew all over everybody at the parriada. Or in Peru, we also do polladas. We like our chicken. If you have ADHD, your brain has a harder time hitting that pause button. That means you might feel emotions more strongly and react faster than other people. It's not just having a bad temper or having tantrums, it's how your brain is wired. Now, here's the twist: not all anger is going to explode outward. Some of it gets pushed deep down inside. When you feel like it's not okay to be mad, or you fear being judged or rejected, you might hide that anger because it doesn't feel safe to express those emotions. And then guess what happens? It doesn't go away. You don't just forget about the feelings and they disappear. Instead, it turns into self criticism, low self esteem, or even depression. You might start thinking, I'm lazy. I can't do anything right. Why even try? That's not just sadness, that's anger that has been unprocessed and it's sneaking up on you. People who push their anger down all the time often end up feeling tired, numb, or like they've lost interest in stuff they used to enjoy. That's because holding all that anger in takes a lot of energy. Imagine yourself running a marathon while carrying your emotional baggage. That's that kind of energy. And that stress, well, it can show up physically: headaches, sore muscles, maybe around your shoulders, neck, could be a clenched jaw, grinding your teeth. Maybe you ball up your hands into a fist. Mood swings and just feeling off all the time. So, what do we do with all of this? I want to give you one tool that's helped a lot of my clients, myself included. It's simple, but it works. So, it's the STOP acronym. STOP. So, it's 4 steps. S is for stop. T is for take a breath. O is for observe what's happening. What do you see? How's your body? What do you feel? Then the P is for proceed. The STOP acronym gives your brain a chance to slow down before you react. That's when you can take a deep breath, go for a walk, or go do something grounding like splashing your face with cold water, take a cold shower, or step outside. It sounds simple, but naming what's happening gives you back control so that you are more intentional with your response. It creates space between you and the anger that you're feeling. Because remember, anger isn't the enemy. It is a very normal emotion that all of us experience, and it's signaling something to you. Your job is to listen to the anger and not explode from it. Don't react, respond. There is a difference, and you can manage that. If you're a Latine man or someone who grew up with no seas llorón or toughen up energy, I want to tell you this. You're allowed to feel. You're allowed to be mad, sad, confused, and everything in between. Don't let anybody tell you you can't feel something, because you are allowed to feel whatever it is that you feel. And having ADHD makes emotions more intense. It also means that you feel things deeply. You care, and you're human. Anger doesn't make you weak, but ignoring it does. So try the STOP tool. Keep learning about how your brain works. And most importantly, don't do this alone. If this episode spoke to you, share it with somebody who needs to hear it. Maybe it's a sibling, a cousin, or a friend who's always told to man up when he's struggling. And as always, thank you for being here. You're part of a growing community that's changing the way we talk about ADHD in our culture. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a review. Thank you so much for listening, and take care.